Hi there. Hi there. My name is Trisha Broderick, and I'm with Ignite Insight and Innovation, as well as the Chief Experience Officer at X2A. And I'm coming live a day early than the first Friday of the month because, honestly, nobody should be working tomorrow. I'm hoping nobody in the US at least is working tomorrow. I probably will be working tomorrow, but I have a lot of things and there's so much going on and I'm kind of excited. So with those things, but I thought I'd come live today and do that. But I'm realizing I did not check anything in advance. So my shirt is doing this like interesting dynamic. So whatever, we're going to make it work. We're going to just deal with it as things are coming and whatnot. So today's topic is a little bit of an announcement, as well as maybe informational, possibly. It's about speaker bureaus. And so I'll give a little bit of history of how I learned about speaker bureaus and what happened. So I attended the National Speaker Association event, probably, I don't know, 2 years ago, 2.5 years, or maybe it's coming up on 3 years ago. And I attended this event, and at this event, they kept talking about speaker bureaus, but I had no idea what this was. And no idea it was going out there. I've been speaking for a really long time, but I didn't know what NSA was before this. I didn't know what speaker bureaus. So curiosity dug in, started, trying to learn about it, trying to experience what it meant. And essentially it's organization, company that helps book and arrange and deal with speaking contracts and opportunities. So I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. But then as I was listening more to a lot of the speaker bureaus, there kept being kind of this like, just because you're part of Speaker Bureau, don't approach me. Well, let me give them more of context. So like I was listening to different heads of various speaker bureaus, like the big speaker bureaus, and they were doing this panel and they were kind of highlighting like, don't, corner me in an elevator going, I'm on your speaker bureau, but I haven't been booked, right? Like these are the things and ways to get booked and draw attention to yourself with that. So it was interesting to me because it didn't seem like a very seemed a little confrontational of a relationship at times, but I just didn't have enough context. I didn't understand. I didn't know. And I don't think it was like universal by any means. I just happened to go to a panel and there was some aspects in the panel that seemed kind of frustrating for both speakers as well as the Bureau. And as you know, there's, multiple sides to everything and some probable truths very much in both sides. So I started kind of like just then experimenting, looking at a few different speaker bureaus, and there's a huge range, right? Different styles, different kinds, different areas, but like the big ones always had like people that were on the speaker bureau were a lot of like celebrities and even like Olympic level celebrities, from politician celebrity, entertainment celebrity to Olympic sports celebrity and different things. And you kind of are looking, it's like, why would somebody choose me versus them? And there was a sea of people, and it just kind of felt overwhelming, honestly, when I was looking at it. And again, this isn't every speaker bureau. This was like kind of some of the top ones that I was looking at. So I did a little AI searching and researching and whatnot. And a lot of them all had speakers that really ran a gamut from business to purely motivational, inspirational to very niche topics with things. And so there just didn't seem to be a lane for me as easily, or at least I couldn't find one as easily. And when I was talking with Ahmed Sidki in terms of joining X2A and what that was going to mean and what that looked like, I realized, and one of the things that we had talked about is actually creating a speaker bureau. And doing that within X2A, and what would that mean, and how would that look, and what would that be? Completely not knowing. And so I did more research and looked into different things and realized that there really was a lane that I wanted this bureau to be for. The lane for the Speakers Bureau is very specifically for business. Yes, we want our speakers to be motivational and inspiring, but we want it to be practical and application-based. I once heard a keynote of somebody, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. But there was no way for me to apply that back in the workplace. and that's the lane I'm in. That's the lane I talk about. That's the lane that is important for me. And so I want to give a space very specifically to that set of speakers, right? That set of amazing speakers that are focused in on helping organizations, helping leaders, helping teams, and what that looks like and what that means. And so this is going to be one of those things that, how do we put constraints around it, right? Like, don't want to talk about crocheting, but if you can blend crocheting into something in the workplace, maybe, right? And so it's not something that's hard and fast, but the goal for our X2A Speaker Bureau is very practical application in the business context, in the world of work, and what that means and what that looks like. So we started because we're experimenting and because we're looking at this and we're growing this with community in mind, with impact in mind, and with value in mind. We're taking this very slow in building this. We're starting in a sense that is only with a certain small set of people so that we can understand what we really want to do for contracts, what we really want to do for relationships and expectations to protect not only the events and the organizers and the organizations, but the speakers that are involved and what that means. And then to really think through what is our caliber of speakers. What do we want? Workshop level speakers? Do we want only keynote speakers? And so we're experimenting. We're looking at this. We're evolving this as we're going from this and continue to build, but build intentionally. Not just have a bunch of people and go, hey, we're a bureau, but like really build it in terms of value add in win-win kinds of environments in situations along those lines. So that is what we have started. It is officially technically out. We haven't done a lot of announcements. So if you are actually watching and doing this, you get a little bit of this because we haven't really publicly announced it yet. We're getting it set up, we're getting it going and starting to build the relationship, starting to build the collateral so that when we do expand and add additional speakers and hopefully additional events, then we have something to build on as we're going from, but based on results and based on data of things that are working for everybody involved. So I'm excited. If you had asked me a year ago if I'd be creating a speaker bureau, no. If you had asked me 3 years ago, I wouldn't even know what that was. So it truly is something that, you look for the opportunities of where you think you can add most value and where you can make a difference and you take them and you see where you can lead with them and go with them. And a lot of ways, as I research speaker bureaus in terms of what they do and how they do it, in some ways, that was what I was doing behind the scenes. A lot of organizers, hey, we're looking for a keynote for this, and I would connect people. I just didn't actually understand that in a lot of ways what I was doing was acting like a bureau, just an independent, solo, non-official kind of way. So we're making it a little more formal now and expanding it and growing it with that. So I'm really, really excited. The timeline of when it's going to expand and start growing and being truly announced is going to vary. It's kind of to be determined still right now. Part of that is we've got a lot of other big announcements going within X2A and the ecosystem that makes up that environment. And so I think we're going to wait until those all kind of get flushed out a little bit and then pay and really invest in the speaker bureau further than what we already are. Things are moving, but in terms of scaling, obviously you shouldn't scale before you got the base, right? So we're getting the base, focus on a few things, setting our priorities, and then looking to scale by the end of the year in terms of things. So if you are interested in being considered for an X2A Speaker Bureau speaker, do ping me, do let me know. If you have an event, you're looking for a keynote, you're looking for somebody to come into your organization to help with an offsite or things along those lines, again, let me know. We have started off with the X2A people are all available in that organization and in the bureau. So we have a starting point so that we can continue and build. So I, of course, will be transparent as things are going along, how it's going, what's happening, and let you know how it's going, how it's proceeding, and what maybe I need help with, what I could use suggestions for. And if you have ideas, please let me know. Otherwise, till next time, I'll be back at the first week of August. I think the first Friday I am around with that. In terms of where I'll be coming up, I have a couple public virtual classes. I have a how to train course available. I have a vision to value. So if you're on the product side and you're looking for new content or new angle to look at in your role, I have that trainings in August, vision to values in September. Both are remote. So contact me if you are interested in either one of those. In terms of conferences and where I'll be speaking from the Speakers Bureau next, I have Agile 2026 in the Baltimore, DC area at the end of this month. I cannot believe it's July already. I have Star West in September that I am doing. And then I am keynoting Tech Connect in New York in October. So I have one July, August, and September speaking engagements through the Bureau. So if you are interested and or are at any of those events and want to chat, please, I always love people. Come talk to me. I love to engage. Otherwise, till next time.